welcome back to Football Unfiltered. Tonight episode is about three things that matter for very different reasons. First, the Champions League is back. This is the part of the season when details decide everything. Game management, mentality, and the moments where one mistake flips one entire tie. We're going to break down what we're watching, what trends are real, and what teams actually have to prove, not just what we hope happens. Second, racism in soccer. And we're not doing the headline, apology, move on, routine. We're talking about the human cost for players, why the same incidents keep repeating, and what accountability should look like when leagues and clubs say they won't change. If the consequences don't hurt, the behavior doesn't stop. So we're going to be direct. And third, enter Miami season debut loss. No overreaction, no excuses, just context and analysis. What went wrong, what fixable quickly, and why might be a bigger warning sign as the season gets real. So if you're here for serious breakdown and honest conversation, you are in the right place. So let's get into it. Before we go any further, I have my co-host tonight, Mr. Alain Levier. What's going on, Alain?
Doing great, coach. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for being here tonight. And also we have Alex. Alex, how you doing?
I'm good.
Alex was complaining before the show that he's too tired, man. I
Oh,
don't know how
come on,
I
Alex.
don't know
Come
how these
on.
young kids. I don't know how these young kids get tired so easy, man. So anyway, man, hey, great to have you back. I know it's been 2 weeks since the last time we had a show. We have a lot going on in soccer, in the world of soccer. So let's start first. Like I mentioned earlier, Champions League is back, and we have some good games last week. Obviously, we had the game between the first game, I think PSG and Monaco. Monaco was winning 2-0. PSG came back. As a matter of fact, they pulled out Dembele early, and then Doué came back and took over the game. So PSG ended up winning 3-2. We're gonna talk a little bit about the Benfica and Real Madrid game a little bit later. Also, Real Atletico Madrid lost, and the first tie. And Inter Milan also got killed as well too in the first tie. So overall, guys, what you think was the biggest, you know, I would say the biggest game and the last week with the Champions League being back? Ali, I'm gonna start with you first.
Can you hear me, coach?
Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah, the biggest game for me was the Real Madrid Benfica game. I mean, that was for me the biggest game because of everything that transpired. Also, and I think that's for me that's a topic we're gonna talk about later on. But I feel like it kind of sets the tone for the entire tournament. I think now we are gonna have to look at those teams from a different perspective to look at not only the way they play soccer, but also the culture that's being
Yep.
set. And not only at a player perspective, but also from a coaching perspective, and see what other coaches are going to do, and how this whole tournament is going to roll out. So I know we had some surprises last week, and it's just the first leg going, and we're gonna have another leg this week coming on. But I think now there's some teams out there such as Real Madrid that have something to prove. So I'm looking forward to it.
Alex, what's the game that surprised you the most last week outside of
Honestly,
Real Madrid and Benfica?
yeah. I think the most interesting game for me to watch was obviously the PSG versus wait, oh my
Monaco,
gosh, I just blanked.
Monaco.
Yeah, PSG versus Monaco. It was amazing for me to watch, especially when PSG were down 2-0. They made that early Dembele substitution. When I thought when he got substituted off, I was like, oh no, they were gonna make it back. And then I saw three goals, and then the celebration after the win was amazing. And I just have to say that it was very good judgment by Luis Enrique to the decisions that he made, because that was a very risky move to take off Dembele so early in the game.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be a good second leg to watch, especially these two teams play regularly during the week, the league. So I
Mhm.
think this is going to be a very interesting watch, especially for the next leg.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think that when you look at it, you have the FIFA Ballon d'Or player. Actually, Dembele, he's been kind of go hurt this year. So and then I could understand why Due was on the bench as well too. So when you look at it, is PSG, they started the game. You'll be like, what's going on? I mean, they have some bad defensive lapses, especially with what's his name, man? I can think of it, the Brazilian. Uh, uh,
Marquinhos,
huh?
no, Marquinhos.
Marquinhos, yeah,
Oh,
Marquinhos, yeah, and he had some blunders, at the beginning of the game, but at the same time, uh, PSG show you that why they won last year. They never panic. They came back in the game. They were like, okay, it was just a little blip, so let's get back and do what we do. And they came back and they were very efficient. And Due, like I said, was unbelievable. The way he was moving, the way he was creating was unbelievable. So as when you think about it, we're only 4 months away from the World Cup, and then you see guys playing in that type of level. So that means that the World Cup is gonna be off the chain with all these guys. But it was good to see PSG came back. But the one thing about this new format, it doesn't matter. I mean, away goal does don't matter anymore. So as long as you score the most goal, that's the most important thing. So Monaco can come back, and if they win 2-0, so they go through. So we'll see. I was kind of shocked with Inter Milan the way they lost. I mean, they just got destroyed in that first leg. So I don't know what's going on with the team. So they're not playing to the level, and they have talent. They're not playing to the level they could be playing. So I don't know if it's after what happened in the first game. I don't know, it's too much for them to come back, but that's why you play on the field, not before the game. So we'll see what's gonna happen. But I was kind of surprised with the type of defeat that they got with Inter Milan. But at the same time, I know Ale kind of talked about it earlier about the Benfica and Real Madrid game. So obviously, that was a very interesting game. Not, I mean, we will go into detail about what transpired in the game, but I think from a statistic, not statistic, from a strategy standpoint, from a breakdown of the game, uh, I don't know. I mean, from playing at home, I felt like Benfica was not aggressive. They were just playing very tentative. They even they were playing at home, they were not really dangerous. In the game, especially the last game of the Champions League last year, Benfica played Real Madrid and beat Real Madrid. So I thought that they would be more aggressive, especially playing at home, but I didn't see that. So I think Real Madrid won the game. They deserved to win that game. They were the better team overall, so they deserve to win that game. So we'll see what's gonna happen in the second half. I mean, that's in the second leg. Uh, Also, Atletico Madrid. So let's talk about Atletico Madrid a little bit before we go back to that Real Madrid Benfica game. What's going on with Atletico Madrid? Alex, you have some explanation for me?
I don't even know, honestly. I didn't even get a chance to watch their game, but honestly, from me watching them, I think it's just been a problem for them, especially consistency. They haven't been very consistent. One game they're beating a high expected team, and the next they've been losing. So I don't know what exactly is wrong with them, but I just know that they have to fix whatever it is.
Alain, do you feel like Diego Simeone is coming? His reign is coming to an end right now?
I don't. I thought they were showing promising signs that they were on the right track. Maybe I'm missing it because I saw them beating Barcelona recently, right?
Yeah, they beat
Yeah.
Barcelona, and yeah, they beat Barcelona, and yeah, that and I think that's kind of go to what Alex is saying is
Okay.
the lack of consistency. I mean, they can look one game like one of the best team in Europe, and then they go to the next game and just looking like a regular team. So I mean, they are very inconsistent this year. Like I said, they beat you right. They beat Barcelona, and they beat Barcelona really, really bad.
Yeah, they beat
Yeah.
Barcelona really bad, and I said, okay. I mean, it felt like okay, those guys are serious. I felt like Simeone may have a chance to keep his job this year, if they can keep it up and then have a great showing at the UEFA Championship. Um, but yeah, we've always known Diego Simeone not to deliver every year. He's like he's almost there, but never can't cross that hump. So I was hoping this year to see him like do better. So I mean, I was gonna ask you, Darren, do you feel like he's closer of getting his team through the finish line this year, or we probably will end up having the same situations like every single year with Atletico Madrid?
You know, I think out of all the teams in Europe, I think Diego Simeone is probably the only coach that I have more job security because when you think about it, I mean, outside of, I think they only won two La Liga or one La Liga in the last 10 years. Like you said, they always close, not able to go over the finish line. Uh, but, you know, the one thing I see with Diego Simeone, he fits the culture and he fits the culture of Atletico Madrid, and they love him for that. I think at times he's too much. I think he's too stubborn. You know, sometimes you gotta as a coach, you have to be able to evolve. You know, and then try to do things differently. I mean, I understand in the past, Diego Simeone team was like, okay, they play great defense, and then they penalize you on counter attack. But you know, he doesn't have the same type of players anymore. So and for some reason, I think that he's still stuck to that mentality to try to build the team like that. I think right now with the way soccer he's playing, which is a more is very coach dependent now. It's more strategy and tactical than it used to be. I mean, you don't see guys playing with a lot of flair like we used to see, 10, 15 years ago with the likes of Ronaldinho, Messi when he started, in his career and, all those guys. But, right now you feel like those guys are more robotic and then just play a certain type of way, the way the coach want him to play. I think I blame Pep Guardiola for that. We're just adding all this tactical part of the game, but at the same time, you have to evolve. You have to evolve. You have to understand the type of player that you have. I mean, obviously, Diego Simeone get paid good money, and then that's his job. So I'm not gonna act like I know what he needs to be doing. But one thing I realized with Diego Simeone, he's kind of stubborn. He's been playing the same way for the last 15 years. So at some point, you have to evolve a little bit and then kind of get with the program and see how they turn. I mean, see what the other team is playing. And I feel like that's what it's missing from Atletico Madrid at times. It's just they're just so stuck in their own ways, and sometimes the way that is might not be the right way or
Hmm.
the right tactical movement that you have to do in that game. So we'll see. But anyway, obviously, the biggest thing we want to talk about is what transpired in that game between Real Madrid and Benfica when, for some reason, not for some reason, where Vini was said to be abused in the game, racially abused in the game. So obviously, this is a big topic. As this is not a topic that we want to shy away from. And obviously, people watching us right now, they say, "All right, now we got three black guys talking about racism in soccer." So I mean, there's no way they're gonna look at it objectively. But at the same time, that's a we can shy away from it. Uh, it's been happening for too long and for so often. So Ale, I'm gonna start with you first. How big is racism in soccer right now?
I think racism has always existed in soccer, especially in Europe, for the longest of time, right? It's been there forever. But I feel like now it's becoming even more serious. And the reason why is because we are in 2026 again. And I feel like over time, um, those European leagues have failed to control the situation.
Yeah,
We've seen a lot of social media abuses across the board. Um, they're up. We're seeing people bluntly being attacked in stadiums, stars, great players. We're seeing um, a certain nonchalance from those coaches, from those club presidents. It's like it's accepted and it's normalized. Well, it's not okay. It's not normalized, and I'm very very disappointed to see how this entire situation with Vini has been managed. It's like everybody is, even Mourinho, which I was very disappointed the way he handled himself,
yeah,
trying to make it sound like it was Vini's fault. Racism is not okay, point blank. I don't think there should be a debate from it. I think it is what it is. It is not okay to be racist. It is not okay to verbally accuse or abuse a player, a human being, based on his background, his race, his ethical belief, his sexual preference. That should not happen, and it should not be tolerated in soccer or anywhere else around the world. So I think it's time for us to talk about, real consequences. We need to stop fining clubs $50,000, which is nothing. Those clubs are making over 500 million euros, every year. That's less than 1% of what
yeah,
they're worth. We need to start hitting them where it hurts. We need to start taking some real consequences. Um, you know, for example, automatic automatic point deductions for the clubs, ban stadiums, bans take a lot of legal action against players, start banning fans over the world. Be very, very, very strategic and hurts them where it hurts. That's what needs to happen. And it should not, again, I'm going to say this, it should not be tolerated. It's not because I'm black. I am saying that. It's just, I know it's not fair because if things were reversed, I bet we have heard a different story. I'm going to leave it out there and let you guys speak.
Alex, as a young player, you know, in the game right now, obviously, you play in a with a diverse background, with different type of players, and I'm not gonna try to ask you, have you ever experienced that? But obviously, your goal is to become, at some point, if you play and then you like to become a professional athlete. So how important for teams, like Alice said, not teams, for like the governing bodies, how important for them to kind of start making example for such terrible behavior, either from fans or from players.
Well, I think that it is very important to make sure that there will be consequences for the actions that these players, teams, fans, whatever the case may be. Um there has to be consequences. If not, then they might think that it's okay or it's right to do these actions, especially towards racism. It's been a big struggle for certain countries. And I'm not speaking for the whole as like for the whole place, but I'm talking about specific fans and specific leagues, such as La Liga. I don't want to throw anything out there like that, but um they've been very aggressive towards the race. And I want to say that that's not tolerated. It shouldn't be tolerated, especially in UEFA, where it is in Europe. Mostly we can agree that the problem is mostly in Europe, but I mean, we have to make sure that these consequences are being held, and that teams don't just think that this is a part of the game, because it shouldn't be part of the game. The game is solely to be played. It's not supposed to be something that makes players feel uncomfortable, or people watching feel uncomfortable. So yeah.
So, I mean, I think everything you guys said. So, for me, the part that I'm very frustrated about is the fact that, first off, when a black player get abused, racially abused, especially in what happened with Vinny, they always want to blame the victim. I mean, it's always happened when it comes to black people. When something happened to us, it's always us. We are the one to blame. I don't care what Vinny did. Vinny was celebrating. That doesn't give you the reason. If you don't want him to celebrate, don't let him score. It's plain and simple. So you can talk to him and say, "Hey man, we don't need that," or shut him up by just score a goal and beat this team. But to go to the point that you have to, again, we haven't nobody I mean, nothing came out to say what he said, but for me it was a coward. I mean, if you want to act tough, don't cover your mouth so people can see what you said. So that's where I am. It's just like, you want to be big bad wolf, just talk for everybody to see to read your lips, right? Don't be a coward and then just do one of those and then talk. But needed to say is, like Ali mentioned, Mourinho. I mean, why, if the guy being abused, why we gotta be like he's provoking the fans? And the one thing I feel like is very frustrating when it comes to that, they always expect the victim to be the bigger person, right? So why, and I think what's his name said it right. Bayern Munich coach, uh,
Vincent.
Vincent
Company.
Company, he said it right. I mean, it just, they always expect, the black player to be the bigger person. You know, just take it. No, why can the other group that is putting all the abuse, why they can be better? Why they can be better, right? Why we always want the other guy, why the abuser can be the better person? Why the victim always got to be the one, got have to take the high road? And I think that's the part for me that is frustrating. It's, they keep talking about it, but they don't do anything about it. And I understand there's a concept that players do things to get into your mind. You got what you call the psyche, right? So I'm gonna try to get under Ali's skin by saying things to him to get him in his mind. But I think there's a line, right? I mean, I can tell Ali, hey, your game sucks, or whatever it is, or your wife is not pretty, or whatever it is, right? or but the fact that you have to demean someone for the way they look, I think that's out of line. I mean, this subject is very upsetting to me because it's always the same thing, right? They talk about it. Everybody give a big speech why it's not supposed to be tolerated, but nothing happens, right? Until the next thing happens, and nothing happens. So that's for me is very frustrating, and it's always one group that have to talk about it, that have to be the bigger person, and that's the part for me is super frustrating. I mean, I bad things were said to me when I was playing, and sometimes you want to block the noise, but like people saying, fans gonna be idiots. It hurt more when that happened from another player, for when that happened when it comes from another player, especially when that player also has some black teammates, and then you would say something like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, fans, because
Yeah.
sometimes fans say things you don't even hear it or you don't even focus on what they say, but doesn't make it right. But when you hear it from another peer, from another player just like you, I think it hits differently, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
I
I,
feel
I
for Vinny. Yeah,
yeah.
go ahead, Alan.
I totally agree with you. I think what was mind-boggling is the fact that you're right. You I felt like there were players making excuses for that player, and everybody heard what he said. I mean, kudos to Mbappe, man. I mean, honestly, Mbappe is in the process of really demonstrating the kind of leader that he's going to be, not only for Real Madrid but for the French team this World Cup. I think him stepping up for Vini demonstrated his ability and his strong leadership abilities. This is by far the first time I've seen Mbappe so passionate and being so strong and taking a strong position on this. Kudos to Thierry Henry. I heard his comments also, what he was saying. What I'm seeing, there's a lot of players. I mean, like you said, Vincent Company, those guys are stepping out. I feel like this time around, a lot of black players and coaches are saying no. Enough is enough. A no is a no. And I think now we need to challenge those club presidents. We need to challenge those leagues
Mhm.
to hold those players accountable. We need to hold those players accountable. We need to hold those fans accountable if we want to see change. Because if we don't do that, well, we're going to lose the essence of this game. Soccer brings people together. Soccer
Mhm.
brings the world together,
Yeah,
right? You don't want to put the sport in a situation where now nobody wants to go play in Europe or we start boycotting those games. And that's what's going to add. That's what's going to happen. Eventually we're going to be fed up with this, and they're going to end up, you know, I don't want to say lose money because that's going to happen eventually, but they're going to lose the entire, how can I say that? What made soccer so global? What made soccer so unique, right? They're going to
yeah,
lose the essence, the spirituality, the beauty of the sport. Because when you look at those teams, people come from around the world, from different countries, and they're working together, they're playing together as teammates, as brothers. And when you don't see that kind of leadership being displayed on the floor, on the court, you don't see the coaching stepping up, you don't see the president stepping up, it makes you really wonder and makes you think that, are we the same page? Do we share the same values? Or should we start doubting what this is about? So I think this Vinny situation, I was really hurt and touched by it. Not because it happened to him last week, because it continues to happen.
right.
Vinny continues to be the victim of racism. And I feel like sometimes when I see him, he's like the only one fighting for himself. I feel like he's on an island on his own and everybody's blaming him, And I feel like enough is enough. That needs to stop. That needs to stop right now.
Yeah, I think for me the biggest picture in this are, you know, good for Vini and Mbappe and those guys because those guys have a big platform, right? So they have a big platform, and good for Vini for using his platform to for the world to know something that's not right. But for me, the part that is very dangerous, not dangerous, but a part that for me it's not normal. It's you have players, black players, that are playing in countries when they don't have a voice, right? So they have to swallow it and do it because they don't have the platform that they have, or they and listen, and I'm not saying that that happened in those countries, but I'm talking about countries like when they don't have that many black players that playing. For instance, I remember the Marcus Beasley when he was playing in Scotland. He was talking about how he was multiple times racially abused, and yeah, the Marcus Beasley was a big player in the U.S. But if you're looking at from a world standpoint, he was not a Vini platform. So he had a lot of those players had to swallow it. Some players playing in certain country in Europe, when people do that on a regular basis, and they have to swallow it. They have to be silent. But so this is great that the Mbappe of the world, the Vini of the world, the Vincent Company of the world, with Rio Ferdinand, with a big platform, they can use the platform to kind of make noise and then say, "Now this is not acceptable." And again, I'm not gonna say that certain country it happens, but I know that there are black players in certain country. They don't have that kind of power that Vini and Mbappe have, so they have to be silent. They have to go and swallow it, get their paycheck, play, and go home, right? Because if they say anything, that could be the end of their career, or anything can happen to them. So that's one thing that I just hope that there's real consequences.
Let
Not,
me
not,
let me ask you one question before we turn the page here. What
yeah.
what were the decision? What are the consequences that the UEFA took? Are there any sanctions taken against the player, the club? What were the
So
latest decisions?
right now, there's no. Right now, I don't want to speculate because nothing came out as this is what FIFA gonna say, because they cannot prove that he's what he said, right? So he told FIFA, I mean not FIFA, he told the UEFA that he did not make any racial comment. It was more he make a comment about, I don't know, sexuality or something like that.
Hmm.
So it was not racial. So there are videos that debunk what uh, Mbappe said, because mono in Spanish means monkey. So they saw him, they read his lips. He did not say mono, he said hermano, hermano, hermano. Because Mbappe said he said 5 times, but what they show his lips said, he was said hermano, 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 hermano. So which is different than mono. So that's why right now it's more like a he said, she said, and then people are even saying that for Mbappe to apologize to him, because what Mbappe said he heard videos are saying are showing that he did not say that, because he did say it out loud. You can read his lips. He was saying hermano, 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 but Mbappe said he said mono, mono, mono 5 times.
But when he
So
covered his lips, see, we're
if
making excuses again. See, that's the
no, no,
thing.
no, no,
We're
I'm not making excuses for
not
that.
you, but that's what the narrative. They're
No,
trying to
no,
control the
because
narrative.
if you're looking at the video, when he covered his lips, Mbappe was not even there. He was not in the vicinity when that happened. And then when Vini went, Mbappe started talking to him. And then Mbappe, when Vini went to the referee, Mbappe started talking to him. And then you see him talk. I mean, they showed his lips. he was saying hermano, hermano, hermano. But Mbappe said he said mono, 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 which is which is different. So that's I'm not saying they're making excuses for him. That's what it is. But as far as that's what he said when he covered his mouth, uh, only Vini heard that part.
I'm sure Vinny know what. At this point, I'm gonna give Vinny the benefit of the doubt.
No, 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 no. I'm not saying Vini it's wrong, but I'm not saying Vini is wrong. But what I'm saying is the videos are showing that what Mbappe said that he said he did not say it. That's what I'm saying. But right now, I mean, right now they say what UEFA are gonna come down with to the point that they're gonna even fine him like up to a million, more than $1 million, the player, if he found guilty, and there's gonna be some big consequences for the club too for Benfica. They even gonna suspend Ricosta, which is the president of the of Benfica as well too, for that. So anyway, so right now it's all speculation. There's nothing concrete that said this is the suspension. This is what's going to happen. I mean, I haven't seen it. I mean, I've seen things, but you can't believe everything you say on the on the internet right now. But I haven't seen any kind of statement from UEFA to talk about the ban. So
Well, the game is on Tuesday, so we'll see what happens. Right? They're playing against Real Madrid on Tuesday or Wednesday. The
when
second
did
leg
they
game.
play? They play Wednesday. They play Wednesday. So if Real Madrid played yesterday, more than likely Real Madrid's gonna be playing because Real Madrid played yesterday, so they're gonna
Yeah.
be playing on Tuesday. So I mean, the one thing is Mourinho would not be at the game
Really?
because
Why? He's
he
suspended. He
got
has a card. He got a red
he
card.
got a red card. Yeah, I mean the guy that I was very disappointed is Mourinho. Mourinho
Oh
knew
yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
for him to kind of deflect and then start talking about Vini provoking the crowd when
Yeah.
Mourinho is notorious for doing that. I mean, for me, it's just Mourinho was. I mean, for me, what's wrong with people say, you know what? If that happened, we're gonna take action. But until then, we gotta know what the investigation is coming, and
Hmm.
if you know, and then just say that. But try to say Vini is provoked. I mean, it's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant. He
So if you don't
mismanaged
know,
the
so
entire
if
thing.
you yeah, because they say, hey, I don't know what to say on the field. So we're gonna get to the bottom of it. We're gonna get to the bottom of it. If anything like that happened, it should not be accepted. It should not be tolerated, and then we're gonna take swift decision. Just say something like that. You know, I'm not saying that you have to tell the player say it. Just say that if something like that happened, we're gonna take swift because it should not be tolerated. But try to deflect the whole thing to Vinny and make Vinny be the bad guy. First of
Yeah.
all, he scored a beautiful goal. If you don't want him to celebrate, stop him. I don't
Yeah.
understand that. I mean, and also Mourinho, you have black players playing for you. I understand that as a coach you want to defend your players, but this is, I mean, you can defend that. I mean, obviously, he I don't know if Mourinho heard it, so but if something like that happened, you have to have a different tone. In my opinion, you have to have a different tone. So anyway, so hopefully they get to the bottom of it. I can't wait to see the the second leg. I think the second leg gonna be epic,
Hmm.
It's gonna be Tuesday and
and
Wednesday.
Real Madrid gonna kill Benfica. They're gonna kill them. They're gonna kill them. So don't
A
be don't be
goal.
don't be surprised if the game was like 5-0, especially with Real Madrid losing this weekend. And with everything that transpired, man, those guys gonna be off the hook. They're ready for that game on Tuesday. So the only thing that I'm gonna talk about it. Uh, uh, it just sometimes, man, I see guys. They do things, and then you make you think about it, and you be like, dude, really? So there was a time when Otamendi lift his shirt and show
I
Vini.
saw that. I
I
saw.
was like,
Oh my
I
God.
was like,
Yeah.
so I was like, listen, Otamendi, let me tell you something, man. You're not playing. It's not Argentina versus Brazil. This is a Champions League game, and the Champions League game, you never won anything. So it's irrelevant showing that trophy. I can understand if it's an Argentina Brazil, it's a World Cup game. You want to show that you won, and for when it comes to Argentina and Brazil, you won more trophy than him. But in the Champions League, Vini is a king. So my point is showing that it's. I mean, sometimes, man, those guys, man, they're so childish, man. They're so. You be like, seriously, man. I was like, dude, you haven't sniffed. I mean, not even a semifinal playing for Benfica, and then that's what you want to show. I don't even think he ever won Champions League with any club, and for you to show a national what you win with the national teams, man, it's just bush league, man.
Mhm.
So
What's worse
anyway,
is that he got carried too. So
huh?
that's even worse. The worst part is he got carried.
Yeah, I mean, he played his
That's
role.
the
He
worst
was
part.
no, he played his role. The worst part is it's irrelevant. This is a Champions League game. If you want to show a trophy, show a Champions League trophy. Throwing a Copa America or World Cup trophy, it's irrelevant. We're not playing a Copa America game. We're not playing a World Cup game. So throwing that trophy, it's irrelevant. I mean, yeah, you can say he got carried, but he played his role. He was instrumental in Argentina winning. But for me, it's irrelevant. Nobody cares about your national trophies. You're not playing a national team. You're not playing a national game. For me, it's just childish. It's just stupid, and I couldn't stand it. Vinny laughed with him. It was more like in a funny manner, but for me, it was stupid in my opinion. But anyway, so let's flip back to the U.S. and let's talk about Alex's favorite team, Inter Miami. Hey man, what happened to your team last night, man?
I don't even know, bro. They
Huh?
got destroyed by
That's
LA.
the Hey, this show was perfect for to have Joe tonight, man.
I know. I think he went to a Heat game instead.
No, the game was away. The game was in
I
LA.
know.
Yeah. So, hey
Mhm.
man, what happened with your team last night, man?
I mean, see, there's a reason why I only like Messi. As like, you know what I mean. So, I don't claim any of those guys out there. But Messi did his part. He may not have done very well, but yeah. I mean, as like an individual, I think he did okay. And I don't want to say too much on this because LA destroyed them 3-0. But I think it was a midfield problem. Definitely from Inter Miami because defense starts in the midfield. So it's whatever happens in the midfield, you can't let your back line have all of it. I mean, it was a lot of yeah, it was definitely the midfield. Big problems all around for Inter Miami in the midfield area. And I just feel like they could have done way better because they started the game very well with their passing and then they ended very badly. I mean, it only took like the 38th minute for it to all really go down. I mean, they had a first lucky goal and then last 30 minutes of the game they were done. So, honestly, I think that Inter Miami they need something. I think they're gonna catch back up because obviously LAFC are pretty low. They're pretty good, so I don't know.
Can I say something though?
Go ahead, go ahead.
I I mean, I heard Alex said he's the only one. He doesn't claim any of these players. He only likes Messi. The only thing that Messi was good for yesterday was um, trying to fight with the referee. That's what I
I
saw
mean,
him do. The game was over, and the guy's trying to what? Try to fight the. So that's what those Argentines do now, coach. They try to fight with refs. So because you got
uh,
beat 3-0, Now you want to go look for the ref in the locker room, and they're holding you back because what you're gonna do? You're gonna kick the ref, so he's responsible because you can't defend and you can't score. Really? I think Messi is too. I think maybe he's getting too old. Maybe he's gonna have to call out those. Forget about the World Cup. I think it's
All
due.
right.
I think
You know
it's a
what? You know
wrap,
what? No, no,
Messi.
no.
I
See,
think
no,
it's a
no, no.
wrap.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
So I don't
Ale,
understand. No, no, wait,
I don't
wait.
want to hear
If
it.
it
Ale,
was anybody else, if Vini was gonna go and try to fight with a referee, you would have heard everybody in the world on ESPN, on your fat channels. This is what we're talking about. Vini, he does this, he does that. But Messi decides to go, and there's live footage about him. He's trying to enter a restricted referee, section, during breaks and try to go in and try to fight a referee. He should be suspended. The
okay.
MLS should
I, I,
suspend
I.
Messi
Matter of
for
fact,
his bad
Messi's
behavior.
so good. Messi's so good that today I just bought his new cleats. All right. So I don't want to hear it. All right. He's Messi. He has specific things that he can do that nobody
So,
else is able
so
to
you
do.
approve.
All
So
right.
you approve this behavior, Alex? I don't care about his
Yes,
cleats.
I approve of
So,
this behavior.
so you think he should go and
No,
fight
no, he can do
referees?
whatever the heck he wants because obviously
Oh,
he
here we
owns
go.
the MLS, bro. He owns the MLS. The
He
MLS is his, bro. The
he owns
MLS
the
is on a
MLS.
leash for
Wow.
Messi. He
Oh wow.
owns them. He can do
Okay.
whatever he wants. It doesn't
All
matter.
right.
He's not Vinny Jr. Vinny Jr. doesn't own La Liga, right?
Okay.
Messi owns that.
I
Messi owns the league. He owns the US, bro.
I think the
You know what?
MLS is
People
done.
only watch the
If that's
MLS
what
just for Messi,
if
so I
that's
don't want to
how
hear
you
it.
think, if you think
He
then
wants
if
to entertain
you
us. Do you
you
not
represent the
understand? He
next
wants to.
so it's
He
a
wants
clown
to
show.
entertain. He's.
The
You know.
MLS is
He
a
knew.
clown
No, no,
show.
no. Notice
Okay.
how he
It's a
looked
clown
at. He
show.
looked at the camera. He looked at the camera. He said he made sure the camera was looking at him, and he did the stuff that he did. All right. That's pure entertainment. I
But he
mean,
lost 3-0 though. He lost 3-0.
it doesn't matter. At least he lost 3-0 in style. Okay.
Okay.
At least he
Okay.
did it in style. At least he did a few hair flicks for the camera or something, bro. Come on, man. He's Messi.
Okay. He's
He
messy.
already won the MLS. He
I
won
think
everything he needed to do,
The
bro.
MLS is doomed, coach.
Right,
I
bro.
think the MLS is doomed. If that's the kind of mentality
That's
that the
not
younger
doomed,
generation is
bro.
gonna have because of Messi, I think Messi is actually
Oh,
doing a
oh wow.
disservice to the MLS. This kind of behavior should be reprimanded. He should be sanctioned.
Oh
He should
no.
be
By
suspended
who? Who's gonna reprimand that?
by
Messi's gonna
the
reprimand.
MLS. The MLS should do that. You don't go
They
and try to
can't do
fight
that.
referees.
They're not
You
gonna
cannot do
reprehend.
that. You can't do
He
that.
can do that, bro. He's just look at the camera. I mean, it's Messi,
Okay.
bro. What do you want?
I'm gonna
We
start
got
buying my Vini
people
shirt. Where can I
screaming
get
touchdown.
a
We go
Vini jersey? I
he
need to buy a
only
Vini jersey.
people are there
What do I
only
do?
for him. People are screaming touchdown in the stands, bro. They don't even know what the sport is. They're just there for Messi. He can do whatever he wants. He could do a little blow a little kiss to the camera. He could just play around. He could do whatever he wants. He already won the cup.
No,
At least
no,
if he didn't
no,
win the
no,
cup, I'd
no,
be like,
no.
okay.
Alex,
Like, come
Alex,
on.
Alex, Alex, come on now, man. Uh, no, there's no such thing as he can do whatever he wants,
Oh,
right?
wow.
So you still have to respect. You still have to respect the game. So one thing I would say though, to go back to what you were saying. So I'm kind of looking at it again from a tactical standpoint. So what happened with Miami yesterday happened to Miami multiple times in the last 3 years. I mean, I always know that that defense in Miami, the long ball, Miami is always kind of weak when it comes to defending that. So the one thing I did not understand, sometimes I feel like coaches try to be very cute and then try to mix things up. So when you think about it, when you're looking at the way Miami finished the season last year, especially the run they had in the playoff. So they had Messi play as withdrawn forward, and then they have Allende and Savetti playing. So, so that's the way they were doing that. They were stretching the field, and then they were creating space, and Messi had times to operate. So when you're looking at it yesterday, Mascherano did not start with Allende. So what you have is you have two guys. They have Messi and Savetti playing up top, and then they have a new guy playing. So again, do what works for you. What change? Why you change it? So when you see Allende, when he came in the game, there was a little bit of rhythm in the game when he came in. So when you're looking at the game, Inter Miami, especially in the second half, had most possession of the game. They were moving the ball really well, but when they go in the offensive third, they were losing the ball. There was no run behind the defender because LAFC was playing great defense. So to kind of explain Messi frustration, Messi got hit multiple times yesterday, and then sometimes they were clear foul and then they didn't call him. So and then there were times he let the play go and there was no clear advantage for Inter Miami. It should have been called a free kick, and then he didn't get it. At one point, the guy pushed Messi in the back and almost messed up his neck. So I think Messi' reaction was more like frustration because of those non-calls that he didn't get yesterday. But needless to say, leave your frustration on the field and move on. You don't need to go and follow the refs and then try to talk to the refs. So that part, I don't agree with it. If you want to say something to the ref, tell to the ref. At the end of the game, you don't need to continue after you just got beat 3-0 and then wanted to go and follow the refs in the locker room to keep talking to the refs. So that part for me, I don't agree with that. But as far as Miami, like I said, it's nothing new. They are very vulnerable to the long balls, and that's what happened to them a lot of games yesterday. So I think they're gonna make some adjustment. And then also, they always say that when you're the defending champ, you become the target. So everybody wants to beat you, and it was the first game. The game was a away game. It was not a home game. So I mean, it's easy to lose that when you play away on your first game. So I think they're gonna make some adjustment. They have some new. I have some new addition. They are very good, but they really missing Jody Alba. So the run that Jody Alba was making on the left, I mean the passes that he usually give Messi when he make that run and cut the ball back. I mean, Allen is not that type of player. So you could tell that they were missing Jody Alba. Also, uh, the combination between Busquets and Messi, I don't think Rodrigo de Paul have that same fluidity with Messi the way that Busquets had with Messi. So I think that, like I said, the season is young. That was the first game of the season. I believe that they're gonna make some adjustment, but I mean, it is what it is. They lost the first game, so they start the season with a big zero. So anyway, but Ale, I'm with you. I mean, there was no need for him to go after the referee. But like I said, if you watch the game, I could understand why he was frustrated because he was getting beat up and then he didn't get any calls. So and some of the calls, if he would have got him, could have changed the outcome of the game. One of them was a free kick in the top of the key, and Messi with the free kick in that area, so it could have been a different outcome. But LAFC was the better team yesterday. By far, they were the better team. They took advantage of the opportunities, and they deservedly won the game. So anyway, uh, what you guys are looking forward to in the next couple of days? Hey,
We
remember, we 4 months away from the World Cup. 4 months away. The World Cup is coming soon, but it's still a long way. 4 months. So, what you guys are looking forward to in the next couple of days?
I can't wait for that Real Madrid Benfica game. That's all I want to see. I want to see the passion. I want to see those boys go in and play hard, playing clean. I want them to remain professional. There's one thing you don't want to do. You don't want to start, fights or start behaving in a way where it questions your integrity. You know, I will always say, you know, if we're gonna fight, let's fight with our results. We don't need to fight with our fists, right?
Yep.
Go ahead, play beautiful football, win the game, score multiple goals, and let the UEFA uh, make their decisions regarding that player and the Benfica group. But I want Mbappe to be a strong leader. I want Vini to be a great player out there. I want the crew to surround Vini so they could go ahead and beat Benfica at home.
All right. Anything else you want to add, Alex?
No, just same thing with Ale. I just want to see these Champions League games, see how they turn out, see who's in the round of 16s, especially, and yeah, and hope we have a new, if not the same winner. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, like I said, it was a good show today. We talk about the Champions League, but for me, the most important thing for me is how how they're gonna approach the whole racism thing. I know that obviously we want to talk about the game itself and everything that comes with the game because that's why we love the game, right? We love the game for the goals, the moves, and etc. But at the end of the day, it's bigger than that. Racism is it's bigger than the sport. I mean it's we're talking about humans feelings and for me especially this is the year of the World Cup. So many times we keep saying that we in 2026 and then we keep having things, but that's what we say all the time, we in 2026 or we 2027 or whatever it is. We always say it should not happen at this time, but it still happens, right? So, and I think that for me, I like to see how UEFA gonna address that issue because I think it's very important, especially of the year of the World Cup, because like Ali said earlier, you know, one thing that soccer brings, it's the world, right? It's a global sport. It brings the world together, and sport in general brings people together. So the one thing we want to do is we don't want we want people to understand that what brings you together also can tear you apart. So we don't want soccer to be the sport that is tearing people apart because of the ugliness of what's happening. I mean, it's everywhere. It's every family. We have some skeleton, we have some ugliness. But at the same time, one thing that we have to do as a family, when things go wrong, we have to address it head on. Just like Alan said, if Messi is wrong, is wrong. I mean, there's no such thing as say he's the biggest star. If you're wrong, you're wrong. That's the way it is. So, and I just hope for me, I'm kind of tired that always the black personalities always have to talk, have to say this is not right. We want other people to say this is not right, right? So I believe that the theory of the world, the company of the world, they tired of having to say it's wrong. So we want other people to say this is wrong. We're not gonna tolerate it, and this is what we're gonna do about it. So that's the way I want to end this. And like always, boys, thank you. It was great tonight. We had fun, and I'm with you. I can't wait to see the Champions League, the second leg this week. So I'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, Coach.